What it do, YouTube? It is Done DTV, and today we are working on my 2008 Nissan Altima 2.5 SL. And in this video, we are doing the ignition coil wiring harness connector. A pack of 4 of these from eBay is about 10 bucks, between 10 and 15 depending on who you get them from. Now here I'm doing the ignition coil harness number 3, and I've already done the first 2, so I've added this strip of heat shrink just because the way the wire is set up, they get very close to the valve cover here on the ignition coil 3 and 4. So eventually I might do that to 4. So 3, I'm putting on that heat shrink. Here I'm showing you the plastic, old plastic conduct will be getting redone as I've done on this side. Made it look nice and neat, nice and pretty. So I'll be finishing up the job as I'm replacing this number 3 harness. As you can see, all of this is just frozen. It's hard, brittle. That used to be rubber. I guess it feels like plastic. But here I'm showing you the type of wires that come on the harness. It's got 20 gauge wire. I use 22 to 16 gauge connectors on the end, along with some Dorman heat shrink. And I'm showing you, I'm zooming in and showing you that this is high temperature wire. That is 105 degrees Celsius. That translates to 221 degrees Fahrenheit. So that's high temp. And I'm glad they put high temp rubber or whatever on the wire harness. So I'm showing you here, I use Scotch Super 33 high temperature electrical tape, and it's the same 105 degrees Celsius. You can see on the wire here, you'll see 105 degrees Celsius. So I use that pretty much to wrap up everything that's going to be underneath that conduct and on top of the conduct. So here, what I'm about to do, I'm about to start cutting off the old conduct. That stuff is brittle. I'm using some Harbor Freight wire cutters. They got the little metal thing in between, gives you a little spring action, so that comes in handy. And as you can see, I just jumped hard because that stuff hit me in the face. So get you some safety glasses. I'm not playing. That man's smart. And you get you a towel, paper towel, or a towel or something, put underneath the conduct, so the stuff won't get to falling all in your engine and your motor, or at least down there in your car. You can clean it up easier if you just put a towel underneath while you're cutting. I got OCD, so that's just me. And take your time. You don't want to go too fast. Make sure you get real close to the old conduct. You don't want to snip these wires right here. So now we got the wires exposed. Take a look at this. All right, very old frozen wires. This was pretty much the wire that was sitting out of the conduct. This is all the wire that was sitting in, still flexible. Now Nissan pretty bad for that. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just take all of this, connect it to the flex, and snip off here at the bend. Now as long as you're not setting up your wire right back near the valve cover, it shouldn't get that frozen. But as you can see, I put my heat shrink on, so this won't happen like that. As you can see, the cracks in there, it's pretty bad, but the heat shrink should protect it. I didn't do them for the first 2, like I said, but they kind of sit further away from the valve cover, and I got them on a pretty smooth flow, and they're not crimped or bent up. They're pretty much close together. This zip tie is not pinching on those wires on the first 2 I got on there. And we finna cut to stripping wires. So yeah, the tool I use this tool. Any brand that makes these type of tools are pretty good, I believe. I think I paid about, I can't remember how much I paid for it. It's about 15-20 bucks, but it's a good stripper tool. It's like it makes the job a lot easier, and it'll literally make the wiring job fun. And a lot less hassle. As you can see, it strips that wire quite easily. Zoom in on it, you're just sticking in on the side with the double teeth, had the side with the single teeth sticking out, and it just splits it right that easy. You can do that 2 more times and get ready to connect your harness. As you can see, these wires are colored, but we'll get into that in a second. This is some Dorman heat shrink I'm gonna put on the opposite end, so I can have on the opposite end of my connectors. So we're gonna go and slide them on the wires nice and neat and cut them down to a nice suitable size. Now let me see, give it much protection as you can. Like the more protection the better. And most of the harness coil wire, just protect it from as much heat as you can. Just protect it. See, like, it's just brittle. You couldn't bend that and it's just gonna snap like a pencil. It's horrible. Nissan is just horrible for that. I'm gonna get on them in a minute, but as you can see here, we got them all connected and crimped. Looks a lot better. Now we're gonna add, I'm showing you my crimping tool I use. This is a Duralast tool, but any tool like it will work. I don't suggest using this to crimp. I don't suggest using this to crimp. I mean, you can. I use them to cut wires, but this thing here is it works. You ain't gotta get dirt. You ain't gotta throw your money away at AutoZone like I did. But what I'm about to do now is about to wrap this up with some high temperature tape. I'm gonna wrap the exposed wires down here with more high temperature tape. That little piece, I can't remember. I think I'm gonna just leave that on. I can't remember if I cut that off or not. As you can see, I'm doing a voiceover. It was shitty as hell when I tried to do the first filming live. I just suck at words. But as you can see, number 4 is twisted up. Nissan just so bad with that. This is how it came. It's still working for now, but I'm gonna eventually change it out. All right, as you can see, this is the finished product. The car running, everything connected, bolted down, taped and zip tied. The zip ties are not tied tight. I don't want to pinch nothing up. Now my ground wires were cracked up bad and corroded and exposed, so now they fully heat shrunk and conducted. The zip ties, like I said, only tight enough to keep everything together and keep everything just, together nice and neat. Make sure your setup is just not pinching at any point. I kept everything long enough to curve into the conduct smoothly with no crimps or bends. And I kept the wires running as smooth as I could away from the valve cover, so when they get frozen again in the future, they won't crack because I got that extra extension in there. So when I want to work on the valve cover, like, I'm good. If it's crimped and it get frozen from them heat cycles, it will break. Like, it's just gonna be a matter of time. Nissan was just so whack for doing that. This is just some horrible mess. Cylinders 1, 2, and 3 are good. Number 4 I might work on because it eventually is gonna look like this, and it's amazing it don't, because as you saw, it was twisted around. This one was actually individually free, but watch how easily the wire gets exposed from a bend. See that? Too easy. Just too easy. Now this affects how your car drives. My car drives a whole lot better now that I did those 3 harnesses. The car literally responds a whole lot better. I don't know, it's like, I want to say it drives faster, but it don't. It just responds a whole lot better. And me noticing over time, this is how the car used to drive when I first got it. Now I go in from here on out. I'm pretty much done. I'm just going over some stuff with the valve cover, showing you some stuff, making sure everything was good. But yeah, you do your valve covers, make sure you hit your points with the JB weld on the corners. Make sure y'all changing these breather hoses, the PCV valve hoses. They get brittle, that stuff breaks. And let me say this, that this whole cause from having the corrosion issues on these harness wires came from me being just OCD extra. I like washing my car, I like keeping stuff clean, and just me being an OCD freak, I got my engine wet. And when you get this shit wet and it gets hot and it freezes over even quicker. So you see I don't got my beauty cover on the car. I got this wet at one point, and let me tell you, if you want to keep under your hood, under the Nissan clean, like, don't wet it directly. Get you a sponge and some water and just wipe it down with, or better yet, get one of those sponges on a stick and kind of just get it damp. Get some soap on it, not a lot, and just get it damp. You do not have to saturate it. Get brake cleaner, get degreaser, and then after you do all that, get you some engine glaze and like spray everything down with that. Don't pressure wash your engine. That'll be the main reason you will be rechanging these harness on Nissan. Even with the beauty cover on, because you're adding a lot of humidity and moisture underneath the hood. So if you spank you pressure wash it even with the beauty cover on, you putting moisture underneath the hood, you're risking corroding stuff under there, you're risking breaking, well, not really breaking, well, yeah, breaking the rubber, because it's gonna get hard over time. And yeah, I can go on a rant for hours about this damn Nissan, because I've had it for years now. I had this car for about 7 years, and I mean, it's working. You treat this car good, it'll treat you good. The transmission works still, thank God. The engine works. So, and everything else is just maintenance, man. So if you can keep that transmission, that engine going, everything else is just maintenance. And you pretty much fix it yourself if you Google, YouTube, and get that Haynes manual. That comes in handy too. So if y'all stopped this video at least 2 minutes ago, I was pretty much been done about that harness. Hopefully this helps some people out there with Nissans, Sentras, Nissan Altimas, and any Nissan product at that. Any Nissan product, especially past 2008. The 2007 and under, built a little bit more better, just still got plastic underneath the hood, but minor stuff like that, you know, you keep up the maintenance on, change out, you'll be good. Like I said, I don't want to talk you guys ear off. I can talk all day, but I'm new at YouTube. I suck at words. I just babble. Let me get off here. Peace.